Today's video from the Essentials Q&A, how can I improve communication with my partner about our sex life? Section 1. Laying the foundation. Why talking about sex matters. Communication. The cornerstone of any relationship, right? We talk about work, family, what to have for dinner, but when it comes to sex, silence often reigns supreme. Why is it so hard to talk about something so natural, so essential to our well-being? The truth is, talking about sex can be awkward, even uncomfortable. We worry about judgment, rejection, hurting our partner's feelings, but here's the thing. Avoiding these conversations can be far more damaging in the long run. Open communication about sex fosters intimacy, trust, and ultimately, a more fulfilling sex life. It's about understanding your partner's desires, needs, and boundaries. It's about expressing your own desires, exploring fantasies, and navigating differences with respect and empathy. So let's break the silence. Let's normalize conversations about sex and create a space where intimacy and pleasure can thrive. Section 2. Beyond the birds and the bees, the psychology of sexual communication. Talking about sex isn't just about the mechanics. It's about understanding the complex web of emotions, experiences, and beliefs that shape our desires. Our past relationships, cultural upbringing, even our childhood experiences, all play a role in how we perceive and approach sex. For some, talking about sex comes naturally. For others, it can feel like navigating a minefield of vulnerability. We might fear being judged, ridiculed, or even rejected. We might worry about hurting our partner's feelings or shattering their perception of us. These fears are valid, but they shouldn't hold us back. By acknowledging our own emotional baggage and communicating with compassion and understanding, we can create a safe space for open and honest dialogue. Remember, vulnerability is not a weakness. It's the birthplace of intimacy. Section 3. Intimacy. The secret sauce of great sex and conversation. Intimacy. It's the glue that holds relationships together, the spark that ignites passion and deepens connection. And guess what? It's not just about physical touch. Intimacy thrives on emotional closeness, on feeling seen, heard, and understood. When we share our deepest desires, fears, and fantasies with our partners, we create a bond that extends far beyond the bedroom. Talking about sex, even when it's awkward or uncomfortable, can be an act of intimacy in itself. It shows your partner that you trust them with your vulnerability, that you value their needs and desires as much as your own. So, how do we cultivate intimacy? By creating a space where both partners feel safe to express themselves without judgment or shame, by listening with empathy, asking clarifying questions, and responding with kindness and respect. Remember, intimacy is a two-way street. It requires effort, vulnerability, and a willingness to meet your partner halfway. Section 4. Sexual health, safety, pleasure, and open dialogue. Talking about sex isn't just about pleasure, it's about safety too. In the age of STIs and evolving sexual norms, open communication about sexual health is paramount. This means having honest conversations about testing, protection, and boundaries. It means feeling comfortable discussing any concerns or anxieties you might have. It also means being able to advocate for your own needs without fear of judgment or rejection. Remember, sexual health is an integral part of overall well-being. By prioritizing open communication and responsible practices, we can enjoy a fulfilling and safe sex life. Section 5. Finding your voice. Practical tips for talking about sex. Okay, so we've established that talking about sex is important, but how do we actually do it? How do we broach the subject without it feeling awkward or forced? First and foremost, choose the right time and place. It doesn't have to be a grand romantic gesture. Sometimes the most intimate conversations happen spontaneously during everyday moments. Start small. Instead of diving headfirst into a deep discussion about your deepest fantasies, begin by sharing something you enjoy about your sex life. Compliment your partner, express gratitude for something they did, or simply tell them how much you desire them. Use I statements. This helps avoid blame or accusations and allows you to express your own needs and desires clearly and respectfully. For example, instead of saying you never initiate sex, try I feel loved and desired when you make the first move. Be a good listener. Communication is a two-way street. Pay attention to your partner's verbal and nonverbal cues. Ask clarifying questions, validate their feelings, and avoid interrupting or getting defensive. Section 6. Navigating the maze. Benefits and challenges of different approaches. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to talking about sex. What works for one couple might not work for another. The key is to find what feels comfortable and authentic for both partners. Some couples prefer to have scheduled check-ins where they can discuss their sex life in a structured setting. Others prefer to have more spontaneous conversations as the need arises. There are also a variety of tools and resources available to help couples improve their communication, such as books, websites, podcasts, apps, see below, and workshops, or even sex therapy. Remember, the most important thing is to approach these conversations with an open mind, a willingness to listen, and a shared goal of improving your connection. Thanks for watching and following us. Stay tuned for more. Coming soon, a new video on another fascinating topic.